Gamers, quickly, want to mention 50% off right now. 50% off on the main gameleap website down below. It is only $1.99 per month in the description down below. I'm doing a ton of 7.23 content for you guys, and it's been a lot of fun really trying to figure out the patch myself and bring every single piece of value I can over there that is not on YouTube, and that is a lot of stuff. Really trying to do a lot for you. I even got people like Yamson and Frempo, other creators who are doing a lot as well. So really, it's just a huge combination of different pieces of content that really will blow your mind. Alright, so Razor was one of the better heroes of this patch, and so I had to make a video on him. Frankly, I just think this hero is brutally simple right now, so much so to the point that if you're not picking it and you can't play this hero, just stop playing Dota, man. It's just that easy. But in all seriousness, I really like this hero right now. I think people should be spamming it, particularly in the mid lane. I think this hero with levels just takes over the game of Dota. It's almost impossible to keep up with the tempo of Razor, considering this hero flash farms brutally fast, which gets him jungle items, and his link is just easy to use. His ultimate is just 2 abilities in 1. It's just way too good. And so yeah, we're going to be looking at a CCNC replay. He is a top mid laner in North America. And yeah, let's break it down. Quickly, I just want to mention that over on the main website, I'm going to be making another replay analysis on Razor exactly in a game which I actually had a position 5 lifestealer infest me for the entire match. If you're unfamiliar with what it does, it gives me 750 HP and 30% movement speed whenever he infests me. He also bought a Vlad's, I believe he bought a Drums, an AC, and I was just zooming around, zapping people down, and it really was a super exciting, fun game, which I want to put on the main website, so go check that out there. In addition, we're doing a ton of other content as well. I've been pumping for the main website, and it's been a ton of fun. A lot of new things to be talking about for this patch. So getting into the mid lane, this is kind of the new starting standard item build. You'll see that the Quap is something very similar. She didn't go for double circlet, she went for 2 mantles instead of the double circlet that we're seeing from the Razor in this match. This is a pretty standard matchup you'll be seeing in the mid lane. Quap is one of the better heroes actually against Razor, so if you do see a Razor mid in your game, I highly recommend picking Quap. It's kind of like a traditional counter to Razor, simply because you can blink out of his link very effectively, and magical damage is particularly solid against Razor in the mid game, considering this hero steals physical damage, not magical damage. To talk about the laning stage, there's really nothing too complex to really understand. It's as simple as you're going to be securing CS with your stolen damage, and that's really about it. That's why this hero is so easy. You don't have to really worry about casting any spells early on. Just if they get into even relative range of casting or going for a last hit, link them up. You'll get a lot of damage, especially once you hit level 3. You notice even though when he's level 3, he still manages to steal 10 damage from the Quap, which is plenty to actually start getting a lot of CS and denies, because it's a 20 damage difference, which is an absolute ton, right? He goes to 70, Quap goes all the way down to 54. So yeah, I don't think it's been, like it's genuinely been a while where I feel like I'm confident in saying that there's a hero that easily dominates the laning stage, but also is one of the best tempo controllers in the game, right? Typically, tempo controllers don't actually have, like, the potent laning stages, right? But Razor definitely does. Like, it's easy for me to say that. Razor easily has one of the better laning stages. Even though he's against the Quap, look at the numbers. He's doing completely fine. It's basically even. It's very close to it. Imagine if he's in a favorable matchup. I mean, you don't even want to see it. It's just brutal. So much so to the point where I was playing a safe lane game, the game I was mentioning with the lifestealer with me. I was laning against a melee hero and we absolutely destroyed him. So like, right matchup means you're just going to snowball even harder than he does in this game. But let's keep going. So in terms of items, it's very important to just be rushing movement speed on Razor. You know, it's really just the main premise of this hero. It's good to buy a Wraith Band, you know, for the attack speed. It works with your link, so that's fantastic. But for the most part, you're going to be picking up things like boots and a windlace, as you see that he has queued up. In addition, what I want to mention that I found fascinating, because there's actually been a couple of different builds for Razor that I've been seeing, this being one of them, where he actually puts 2 points into the Storm Surge, which gives him in total 12% movement speed, right? He just gets 12% more movement speed, which actually jacks him up all the way to 367 movement speed. A very impressive number, right? And what's odd is that he actually does not seem to care much at all about putting many points into his Q. He feels like maybe it just doesn't scale that well. He'd much rather have the high tempo and ability to just roam around the map with the movement speed. And we'll be seeing that a little bit later on. He kind of just takes advantage of the fact that he can just chase people down with a W. Alright, and coming up here, we're going to see his first kill of the game. I mean, just a really comical sequence. This is really all you have to do. So it's around the 6-minute mark. He has his boots, he has his windlace, and he has his ultimate, which means you are one of the strongest heroes in Dota at this period of time. And he picked up 1 dust. It's very important to do this. If you know that the enemy side laners have a Riki, a bounty hunter, whatever it is, anyone who can go invis, and I guess Riki doesn't really go invis till ultimate now, you kind of just run him down. And that's exactly what he does here. He just gives Clinks to walk down and you zap them to death. There's literally nothing you have to do. You just link them, you turn on your ultimate, you click your Q and you kill them. Now, obviously this doesn't look too good of a fight. He ends up going down here, which is why Quap is sort of a counter, because she can even rotate to his side lane ganks. But in general, you want to be making those movements to pick up those key kills. It's very unlikely, especially if you're not at a very high MMR, that you'll be counter ganked or even counter picked in the first place. But yeah, nothing too crazy outside of that. Understand that if your game is going poorly on Razor, it's totally cool to just slow down the pace of the game. You notice, like, even in the laning stage here, he's able to just steal a bunch of damage from the Clinks, but then you don't actually have to necessarily do anything with it. You can continue to just flash farm and get your farm up. In fact, he even gets ganked here, and it might be like, oh, at this point, it's got to be GG, right? Like, he's 1 and 2. His laning stage went, like, decent, like, not great, all right? He has 30 CS in 8 minutes. Surely he's just done for, but you would be surprised, right? You'd be surprised, even though the enemy Quap is feeding, you'd be surprised just the comeback mechanics of Razor. It's like, oh, this hero dies, it's got to be GG, right? Not at all, and we're going to be seeing that here as he ganks up the Clinks once again. You just leash him up, and it's so easy. It's just so easy. You just show up to a side lane, you click all your buttons. I mean, look at this. So keep that in mind. If your mid matchup is absolutely trash, just get out of there, right? Let's say you're laning against a puck and you can't pressure the puck. He's just cutting your waves. Leave. If it's a Quap and they're pressuring you out, leave. Doesn't matter what it is. SF, leave. If you can't deal with them, just leave. Because frankly, you can see what he's doing here. He just literally just walks down whoever he can. It's so easy because the duration of the spell goes up, right? The link duration goes all the way up to 8 seconds and steals 22 damage for a second. And then for some reason, the Quap manages to kill herself. Big plays coming out from Mr. Jeans here. Don't really know what was going on. He kind of just got right-clicked to death. I guess he was kind of underestimating the pure damage of, just Razor, because your ultimate is consistently, every 3 seconds, dealing 80 damage. In addition to the active, which does 40 damage. I feel like every single time it's like, oh, okay, if this hero just had this new link, it would be good, right? But it just got like 3 buffs. So in terms of item builds and skill builds and talents, I'm just going to mention her quickly. So obviously in terms of item build, he actually goes for treads and he Yules this game, which I really, really like. It's kind of a nice mix between attack speed, which works well with the damage you steal, and then the Yules gives you a lot more movement speed in addition with your passive, so you're kind of just zooming, right? With the treads, even though he has treads, he still has almost 420 movement speed, which is obviously very, very dank. Very dank. So yes, but really all I'm saying is the trades into Yules build with the wand and Wraith Bands is probably one of the best builds for fighting in the early game for Razor, considering you can continue to deal damage while you are actually Yules up into the air as he manages to walk down the Clinks once again. And really guys, this is about it. If you're unsure of how you need to play Razor, it's all about, okay, I don't see anyone, I don't know where anyone is on the map, I'm going to turn on my ultimate, I'm going to farm camps, I'm going to chill. Then I see people. If I have my link, I go in. If I don't, I'm going to kind of play on the outside. If you're stealing a lot of damage, you can man up. But for the most part, like if we look back at this fight here, let's be very clear at when he actually disengages, right? He got the kill on the Clinks with his W, but even though he sees this puck here, he's like, all right, puck could be a bit hard for me. I can't link puck. He sees the treant coming in here. Why doesn't he instantly go on him? Well, he doesn't have link right away, and also he doesn't want to walk through the webs. It would just be very, very difficult for him to actually do anything there. So overall, yeah, it was just a good idea for him to wait for the next link so he can actually continue playing the game effectively. And as we see here, the Quap blinked in, I think to try to go onto the Bane. I don't really know what was going on there. Kind of a bizarre play, to say the least. But yes, the Quap did go on the Bane. And as a result, he perishes. Like, I don't even know what to say, guys. I want to make this video complex and be like, here's the insane Razor outplay you can make. Like, you can just go absolutely ham. But, like, no, you just click W and walk them down. Like, here I just kind of want to show you a little play you could be making with Razor just to guarantee damage. So a lot of heroes are going to try to disengage from you when you're actually linking them, and it's important to prevent them from kiting you. So here he's going on a treant, he gets rooted, and instead of trying to perch himself, which would put him in the air and allow the treant to potentially disengage, he's instead going to just simply use up the treant, which continues getting him damage. You notice his number is still going up in the static link, so it's super value in that regard, and then when he comes down, he gets the zapping of a lifetime. So it's really important to understand that it's really good to use your ult every time you're trying to kill someone, because basically what you do, right, as you can see from after he kills this tree in here, instantly he pushes in the mid creep wave with the remainder of his Eye of the Storm. The spell is only an 80-second cooldown at level 1, and it scales down, so it's just like legitimately the most spammable ultimate in the game in terms of like, it seems like it's high value, but it's not, and that's exactly what he does, right? He just simply takes this large camp with the ultimate, now he's walking top to gank this Clinks, and basically all he's doing is just being all over the place, right? Even setting up on the Clinks with the ultimate here, just really, really nice value. You can see the potency of the Yules on Razor, because usually Razor has this issue of tracking people down. Like, it sounds weird because you have a lot of movement speed in your Q, but you don't have a particular stun or a long duration root or slow. Like you have a small slow, but it's not like crazy good. So I think this is just super high value, and it's really putting in dividends at this point in the game. You sort of just walk people down, and this is the pure DPS of your hero. I mean, just look at it. Collector gets slept up, the Bane goes for the grip. All you have to do is link them, you turn on your ultimate, and you stand next to them. I mean, it's so brain dead. It actually is just so brain dead, right? Link runs out, zap, zap. So just going into some final item builds, I just want to quickly mention that he goes for the Sanjin Yasha next, which gives you really good status resistance. It gives you good strength and agility, which is actually very good on a hero like Razor, who doesn't necessarily need damage. He kind of just needs like overall stats and agility and also movement speed to move around the map. With the Sanjin Yasha, he has 484 movement speed, which is just very, very high. I don't know what to say. He just is zooming. Man's is zooming. In addition, he was able to pick up Vampire Fangs from the jungle, which I think is super strong on this hero. It gives you lifesteal, which actually works with your static link. When you static link, you'll be able to get the lifesteal, as maybe we will see here. And overall, I just think like gets hit, healed up a little bit, right? And that's kind of all you need to pay attention to, like all these small jungle items that give you damage, lifesteal. One in particular that I think is broken right now is the Helm of the Undying that lets you stay alive for 5 seconds. Also very good on Racer because you're going to steal a lot of damage, and even if you get bursted for whatever reason, you stay alive and you just pump out damage with the rest that you have. So yeah, overall, pick this hero, guys. It's not free MMR, it's close to free MMR. Just really get used to it, get potent with the hero, get comfortable, and if you understand like the few matchups that it just doesn't like to play and avoid them, you're just going to cruise. You're going to shock your opponents. Get it? Haha! But in all seriousness, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please do like and subscribe to help our channel grow. I appreciate it as always. And yeah, peace. What's up everyone, Speed here. Just want to mention, over on the main gameleap website, we have a 50% off sale going on right now. So it is only $1.99 per month. That's it. That's it. It's so cheap. And I'm doing a ton of 7.23 content over there. So if you feel like YouTube isn't doing it for you, or you need things more niche and specific that can help you in your very own role, I recommend you go check it out, right? It's 50% off. Literally, it's a Black Friday sale. It's not going to get much better than this. Actually, you probably never will. So click the link right now, and hopefully I'll see you there.